It's recording.
Hello, my name is Patricia Holyroyd and I'm the company manager. We're here having a discussion on post-traumatic stress disorder and the burnout associated with it. With me, I have Hiju and I have Ian. We welcome you today to our very important presentation on post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and the burnout associated with it. We know what an important topic this is, not only for yourselves as employees, but to the company as well. The company and employees have all been well aware of the impending burnout rate. We see the missed days, the increased anxiety, depression, and the personal battles many of you are facing. We have spoken to many of you, sent out surveys, and have had interviews with a few employees themselves. We need to work together to fight this battle, and we need our employees to recognize the signs and utilize our resources. As healthcare workers, we know that PTSD causes extreme personal distress, anxiety, it affects sleep, amongst so many other symptoms. The pandemic has been hard on all of us, especially you guys, the frontline workers. Bell et al. 2022 has shown that post-traumatic stress disorder has doubled amongst healthcare workers following repeated outbreaks. We want you to know that you are not alone, and we are here to help you through this struggle. We don't want to lose our well-trained, well-loved staff. Let's take care of us together. I'll pass you over to one of our facility managers to break down PTSD amongst healthcare workers even further. Yiju?
Okay. My name is Hiju Kim. I'm a facility manager.
Yiju, we're getting a little bit of feedback.
I'm talk about post-traumatic stress disorder of healthcare worker. PTSD in healthcare worker is very important and cannot be overemphasized. How important is it for us to protect our own health when we take care of people's health? First, I looked at how much PTSD has increased for healthcare workers due to in the pandemic. According to a study by Oxford University, 76% of healthcare workers said COVID-19 and PTSD were not related, and only 24% said COVID-19 and PTSD were related. 76 of respondents who said they were not related to COVID-19 thought PTSD was already related to their job before COVID-19. This means that regardless of COVID-19, healthcare workers are under a lot of stress from their job. If so, this is an important issue for the temporary phenomenon to be managed steadily. And we interviewed RPN, a healthcare worker. She is a nurse who has been working for 13 years in Niagara region. According to her interview, she said it was very difficult to take care of patients and family members at the same time during the pandemic. It is true that the difficulties for all healthcare workers increased during the pandemic, but she also said that it was not only because of COVID-19, and her stress management technique was just to put up with it silently. I think this is the biggest problem. There is a similarity between Oxford University research and her interview. Regardless of COVID-19, PTSD is a huge problem for healthcare workers. So, what do we need to do? We must find an active way not to put up with it. I think that quietly enduring stress as if it didn't exist will be a bigger problem in the future, and that transfer can damage the whole health system in the long run. We are healthcare workers who take care of people's health. We need to know how to take care of ourselves first. What do you think about Ian?
Hi, my name's Ian. I'm a unit manager here. So it seems clear that just repressing our stress and pretending that it doesn't exist is not an effective coping mechanism. And as you mentioned, there was a pre-existing problem with PTSD, stress, and burnout among healthcare workers, and it's being exacerbated by the sort of extreme conditions that people are facing and the staffing shortfalls that we're facing. And when you end up with a vicious circle, because if there's a staffing shortfall and there's a lot of work to be done, there's a lot of pressure because of COVID, that leads to burnout, which means you lose staff, which just adds to the pressure to either new people coming in or the people who are left over. So it's a positive feedback cycle. Obviously, the most important thing to do is to recognize when you're in danger of burnout from trauma or other forms of stress, and to take steps to mitigate that. Be that like trying to make sure that you don't overwork yourself. It can be very tempting to take, as many shifts as are thrown at you, but eventually you're not going to be able to manage it anymore. Obviously, to seek counseling, reach out maybe to human resources or any programs that are around. There's often free counseling available, be that group talk or people through the company, and make sure that you have figured out some healthy ways, like sort of a stress work kit to manage your stress levels. So that's going to be a little different for everybody. Like I love just relaxing and lying around with my cat and turning off the ringer on my phone and just relaxing. My wife loves to exercise when she's stressed out, or I love to do gardening when I'm stressed. It's going to be different for everybody, but you've got to try to recognize what works for you and sort of assemble an emotional emergency kit and use it, because we don't want to lose you. That's all I got for now. I'm going to pass you back to Trish.
All right, thanks for that, Ian. Took the words right out of my mouth. Who knew the pandemic caused such high rates of PTSD? I know I'd probably still be wiping down my groceries and standing 6 feet away from in my senior years. These are unprecedented times, and we need to support each other more than ever now. Check on our peers. Turn to our fellow peers and supervisors that you trust when you feel like you're in a crisis, or and recognize the signs of a coworker in a crisis. You are healthcare workers. Recognize these signs in yourselves, your peers, your supervisors. When your peers and exhibiting symptoms, take action. Reach out and utilize the services available. And that being said, the company recognizes a need for early intervention. We're implementing a couple new initiatives that'll take a short time to phase in. And I mean short. We need to step up and step in now. We are providing more green spaces and comfortable, space-appropriate break rooms. Company wellness program has been in place for some time. However, we're amping up these services. There's going to be more family and more employee services, or family and employee counseling services available. There's going to be massage chairs within the break rooms and tea and coffee available to you 24 hours on shift. This in addition to the many services. Very nice, Ian. Add a little personal touch from needing to work from home these days. This in addition to the many services still offered by our wellness program with 24-hour support. Call anytime that you feel you're in a crisis. They will connect you with counseling services, resources in your area, and different coping mechanisms to help you de-stress And make sure that you're taking the time for yourself. Like Ian said, add that self-care into your routine. Exercise helps immensely reduce stress, anxiety, and improves moods, and it helps with depression. So ensure you're taking that time. Love yourself. You guys are amazing. You are the frontline healthcare workers that stepped up. And always know we have an open door policy. We're here to listen. Reach out for an ear, a shoulder, resources, or help in any way. We're a family and we're a team here, and we're here for you. You guys want to add to that?
I'm okay.
That was beautifully said.
We've also completed a presentation that we are going to make available and send by email immediately that covers the minutes of this meeting, and as well as a presentation that includes resources for you guys and some of the information shared here today. Thank you for joining me today, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Alrighty.